плотно.
Hey guys.
Hi guys, the set part of our video, and in this session we would like to discuss, to talk about different countries' experience that Nick and I had working there, volunteering there, pros and cons of living abroad, working there, and similar stuff.
Right. So we, both of us, Ella and I, and myself and Ella and I, yeah. We are English teachers, and also Ella is a Spanish teacher. And of course we traveled the world, and we saw different places. And actually I spent 2.5 years working in India, and of course it changed my life.
Can you tell more about that? How it changed, I don't know, your behavior, your understanding, or your way of life?
So it's completely changed my life, and it was the reason why
I hope to a better position, or how to say, to something better.
Well, obviously, can you expect, I will answer with a question to your question. Can you expect a person who thinks that things work for the worst to film videos and work as a teacher of a foreign language?
Okay.
Like, do you expect some unhappy person to do that?
No,
like
I don't think so.
To make videos with like,
okay, it was maybe a silly
jokes
question.
and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah. So how did it change my life? Well, I was before India, I was working as a manager of an office. Well, actually, there were two offices. One web development office, and the second one some construction, related to computer networks, so this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a super challenging.
Did you find it yourself, or how did it happen that you worked there?
No, but it was a logical kind of promotion, like the next step.
Okay.
After I got my first good job as a writer, for websites.
Freelance.
Not freelance.
Not
I
freelance.
was hired in the office.
Okay.
And then I became an editor. Mm-hmm. And it was a range of promotions, yeah. And then I had a feeling like I already hit the roof.
Uh-huh.
Of course I did not, but I had that, feeling that I am I'm not developing any longer, that projects are not motivating.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was it was just a burnout after I completely immersed myself into these projects. And this always happens when you invest too much without maintaining your balance.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
And let's recall one more thing, that it wasn't the company, because in Minsk, in Belarus, you can find the same company. It was in a different country, Japan. How was it for you working with Japanese people? I mean, some cultural
I never
clashes.
worked in Japan.
Wasn't it about the Japanese company, or what?
No.
India.
No. It was before I went to India.
Before.
That was the reason I wanted to change the game.
Okay.
Yeah, change the whole thing, because I wanted to work with English speakers.
Uh-huh.
And maybe I was frustrated with the local market, that I don't have the 100% of a Belarusian mentality.
Okay.
Because I can be loud, I can smile. And it happens.
Me too.
Yeah, but for you, come on, you are a beautiful woman.
Thanks.
And it's normal for you to smile.
But some people, even if they are very attractive and beautiful, with all the Belarusian, conditions, they still remain their face very
I would say
sad.
Conditions, not conditions.
But circumstances.
I would say it's a post-traumatic kind of stigma.
Maybe.
Something like that, yeah. And it's not common for our country to express yourself, to smile and stuff. So I can say that I partly identify myself with this culture, and partly I do not.
Okay.
Yeah, so the other part, of course, is very Western, and that's why I went to the East.
Okay. I got that.
Yeah, but I had this opportunity with Isaac Kiev,
Uh-huh.
and I met the officer of Isaac in Kiev, and they said that there are internships available.
Okay.
At the time, I was already over age for these internships because they're for young specialists.
For young specialists till they are 26 or what's the limit age?
I can't recall, sorry. But
Okay.
at that time, I was like well over it. But I got this, they registered me in the system, and I wanted to get a tech scholarship to continue myself as a manager in IT.
Uh-huh.
And,
Did anybody influence you? Like, did anybody care about motivating you, or was that you yourself that I have to push myself to continue developing?
of course, myself,
growth?
because I was
So
not
nobody.
happy. Yeah, it was a constant drive.
Or maybe
because-
your family, you know, sometimes if they know what's happening in your life, they forgot the word.
Ya sé en español.
Yeah. They
They've given me.
they help you but not help, they
Influenced?
support you.
Oh, okay.
So said
They backed me up.
okay, they back you up, they support you, and
Support,
so
yeah. Mhm.
yeah, and they for example say, hey Nick, you have to do
No,
that,
they,
you have
like,
to reach the
pushed
goal.
me, yeah?
Yeah, they pushed you. I've
No,
told you.
nobody first. Well, actually,
So
I-
that's where you saw.
from my early years, I've been quite independent, to say the least.
Okay.
Yeah.
From my early age, like 15, 16.
Oh no, long before that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because you see, if to say that I was raised by my parents, it's not the whole truth. Because even today, if you are, for example, a parent and you think that you are raising children, I'm sorry, you're being deceived. You are not raising your children. You are growing your children.
Growing.
You are growing. You are like growing like vegetables.
Wow, such a comparison.
Because it's true. Because like what is growing children is the
Oh,
media.
go there?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Because we are driven by media. We are manipulated, whether you like it, whether you accept it or not. We are driven by this bleeping media. And because of Hollywood movies and MTV and all these things, so I was significantly influenced by that. And like the values that like this traditional, quote unquote, traditional civilization offered, they were like not valid from the very beginning, especially at the time of the collapse of the Soviet Union. So you see.
But coming back to the thing that working abroad, like India,
Yeah.
what were the difficulties you faced with? What surprised you? Any cultural clashes? I don't know, cultural shock.
Oh yeah.
So
It was a hell of a cultural shock, I would say. Well, even I don't know where to start because see, the experience is so unique. I can reflect for hours and hours probably. So you will.
or
get
maybe that's
bored.
going to be a separate video or
It's gonna be
set
a
of
separate
volume
set
of videos. Oh, volume of books.
Probably,
Prob-
not just one book.
Oh, one more interesting question that
Yeah.
came up into my mind. Like, do you have your diary or something maybe online where you
So
Right,
videos
some
are not
good-
enough anymore for you.
right, you're doing videos, but like I'm not really keen on having a diary and writing all the stuff that
Yeah.
happens to me from time to time, but of course you forget about some things.
Yeah.
But when I came for the first time to New York, and my cousin was there in that moment with her family, and she she gave me a beautiful diary, and she told me, write down everything that happens to you here because that experience going to be unique.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then in many years you will read it and you will remember, recall, and you will love that. But I don't really like doing this.
Well, I would say I would add, if you permit.
Yeah,
that
sure.
It's not
I-
just that you don't like doing it. That it's not just being lazy, but writing is a different thing. It's very different from speaking because
Sure.
whatever we speak is already there in our mind. We
Yeah,
have
it's
our
easier.
vocabulary,
Yeah.
We have our thoughts, we have our beliefs and all.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And to write, you first need to understand the purpose.
Okay.
So is it a proclamation? Are you addressing, I don't know, your closest friends?
Yeah.
Are you writing for your mother?
Not just for yourself, just,
Yeah.
what happened to me today.
Exactly.
I had a nice conversation, or I met a nice guy, or
Right.
something else happened.
Yeah. So my second question is, which form are you writing in? Is it a letter to yourself? Is it a report?
Maybe I guess it's a report.
Okay.
A resume, like after the day that
Like a
passed.
summary, yeah?
Summary, right? Summary of the day, and
Yeah. Well, resume, yeah, there is a word as well.
the summary is better, like in this situation. So difficulties you faced with. So just some, maybe.
Yeah.
The-
So first of all, of course, food, but
It's very fat.
it's quite fat, and first of all, it's so spicy.
Spicy. Oh,
super
what a
spicy.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Dogs.
you got a swan here.
Yes, one and beautiful dogs.
Yeah, that's fun. A typical Eastern European
Spring.
kind of like city skyline.
Oh, cities. New York Highline Park. Love this place. Visit, guys, if you are in New York. One.
I know one former student who is in New York right now.
Ah,
Oh, let me calculate how many former students I got in New York.
many.
That's more than one, definitely.
Okay.
It's more than 5. Okay. The challenges. The first and foremost was food, of course, and not only the spiciness, like the level of spices,
Uh huh.
but the whole preparation and the whole custom of food.
Yeah.
Because you're going to adapt to eating at specific time of the day.
Yeah.
Forget about your habits, because as for me, like before India, I would get up at 6 or 7,
Oh,
and then
that early bird.
well, yeah, it works for me at that time. Yes,
And nowadays you wake up as well?
it depends.
Depends, okay.
Yeah. And then I would immediately drink water or coffee, and then I would immediately, like, I don't know, like read a book or like do some work while still I was fresh. But it was before India,
Yeah.
because like in India, breakfast starts at like in 10 or 11,
Oh,
and in the morning they don't drink
why?
coffee.
They don't go to work early? They don't start working
You
at
see-
8 o'clock?
To explain all these things, I have to like
Okay, another
have to
set of
tell,
videos.
like
Yeah.
explain like more detail.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like the entire different system, and it has to do with local traditions and with climate, of course.
You mean the idea was mentioned in this example that we are totally different and we can have difficulties all around the world, differences, and for some people that may be a crucial moment in stop working in some place. Like in my situation, I had experience working in the States as a student, and I am still a permanent volunteer in one organization that works with children who suffered from Chernobyl catastrophe.
Okay.
And so I am a monitor of the group, and I go with kids every summer. I like helping kids as well because
I mean, you bring them to the United States?
to Spain. I told
Spain,
I've already
sorry.
yeah.
Well, I understood that.
No. It's this is the second country. Like I know lots of things about, and frankly speaking, I've never heard this strong desire to come back and to stay there and to work permanently.
All right.
Well, maybe recalling some examples that I had, but in the States I was like working a lot. But in my situation, I couldn't find a job at once. It was a difficult process, but I was lucky to live in my cousin's apartment. So at that time she was there with her husband and with her little daughter. But lots of the students who were with me on the same plane, they couldn't find a job and they had to change their tickets and go back.
Oh.
So, but you have to understand that in every country actually to get money you have to work. But maybe now I'm not ready to work like 2 shifts like
yeah.
it was when I was 23,
Okay.
22 in the States, trying to get some money. And so, and I don't have this dream now to go back and work there. Maybe for just some time to have some nice, cool experience.
Yeah, like
but not
encounters
forever.
with old friends or places that were meaningful for
Places,
you.
friends, and maybe some. Okay, if it's gonna be a business trip, but not for forever.
Not forever, yeah.
Not
right.
forever. In Spain, I love Spain. I adore Spanish language and the people and the
Yeah.
culture and the food. But I also had when some people, complain about something happening in our country. I wanna
Yeah.
tell these people, okay, go and try to do it better,
Yeah.
not just only complain.
Right.
And when
But
they,
complaining is also good.
I don't know, but
I'm trolling you, sorry.
when you're complaining all the time, that's not that good. I hate people who are complaining all the time and they can't do something to make it better. And let's, for example, take medicine. Like, okay, bad doctors, bad something in our country. I can tell you in my 8 years traveling to Spain, I had lots of situations even with myself. And I'm thankful to God that I'm still alive, to tell the truth.
Wow.
Because, there were some difficult situations, and our doctors are the same doctors as somewhere else. Like, money can help you, even in the States, if you don't have insurance, medical insurance, if you feel bad.
Yeah, but money can buy you love. As they
Money
sing in
can
the
buy
song.
you love.
Money can buy you love.
Okay, you can recall this one.
No.
So there is no ideal place in the world. I don't know.
Yeah.
And for me, for example, it's difficult too. I have good friends. I used to have a boyfriend
Okay.
and their family, and it's difficult for me to be without them for that long. If you
Right.
understand, when you go back to work somewhere, you have to think of your parents. They don't have enough money to come and visit you even once a year because, for example, they are retired.
Right.
Or if somebody happens here, they need your help, and you think, $1,000 for the flight, guys. I was working 24 hours a day, so that's what I'm thinking. And maybe
you have as far as I can see, as I can see, you have a very strong connection to this land.
I guess yes, because the relationship, and I don't understand people who, for example, who move to another country to live in, and then they leave their family and some relatives, and they think that these relatives have to cope with all the problems that are happening here because they have already moved to another place.
Right.
That's not a good thing, I think.
But of course, it's we have all our opinions, and
I agree. That's my personal view. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. No, it's that's why we are making
Okay.
this video, not just to give facts, but also opinions.
Yeah.
And
Opinions.
regarding problems in India, of course, before talking of problems, I want to say, I want to express such an unlimited gratitude to that country and that people, because you cannot even start to imagine how well I was treated as a special guest, as a superstar,
Really?
which I was not. And I had for the first year probably I had this stigmatization of myself, saying the imposter syndrome.
Okay.
Like, I'm not the real celebrity, and because I'm different, my accent is different and my background is different, so that's why I'm being made of. They make an icon out of me, and they put me everywhere as an advertisement of their school. Yeah, it was something unusual, but at the end of the day, it helped me gain better confidence, and now I can say that.
So this experience made you feel more confident, to become more
yes,
self-confident.
absolutely. Yes, this is the number one thing, because I believe that if you talk about post-Soviet countries, the
Yeah.
problem number one is the lack of self-confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
that's
we
my
all
personal
knew
opinion.
that we have only one leader, and he is the only one who is the star.
No,
They
don't
are-
make it political.
Okay.
Don't even start.
Okay.
I'm not saying about one country. I'm saying about the whole system,
Okay.
that we inherited it from our parents, and our parents had a different life, which was highly regulated. So they used to be told what to do. They used to have one job, some boss, you know. Like, as for me, I cannot even imagine. So what kind of person would tell me what to do? Like go teach. Because like, I don't have all this piety of of a boss or hierarchy. Because connections today are horizontal. Because I can reach, well, in theory, of course, Donald Trump, like President Trump, via social media.
Okay.
Is it possible? Yes, it is.
You want to make it political, so.
Yeah, but it's more general.
Okay.
Yeah, I took Trump as the president of the world.
Is there a book that is called Opinions? I like this name. It seems to me that's going to be a good name for any textbook. Opinions.
Opinions.
Maybe there is one.
Maybe onions.
Onions, opinion. No, opinions is better.
Minions. Minions already exist.
Minions, maybe.
Yeah. So I'm immensely grateful to that country and that people. I'm not going back only as a guest or only as for a project if I finally reach this international level.
Okay.
Like true international level.
But it was a good experience for you. Don't you regret that you've been there, that you were there?
Of course, I don't have regrets. Step by step, I built my confidence, and I believe the number one thing I achieved in India is the knowledge of ESL materials. Because when you're given a class and the boss says, like, oh, sir, you know what? You are going to have a class right now. And I'm absolutely unprepared.
But it's not working.
Come on, we know that you are a very creative guy. We know that you can teach better than anyone here.
You know how many times I've heard it?
It was not true. There were some good professionals, but they were lacking confidence or they were local.
Yeah.
And because I had the number one thing, attention.
Yeah.
I could do anything, and because of it, I started gaining this feeling of what? Of responsibility, that I'm accountable for this time they're paying for.
Okay.
So because I felt like if these people are paying money, their hard-earned cash, just to see me, to be at least present at my lessons. So at least I should give them the value for money and more.
Okay.
So maybe for the next time, so they would come again.
Okay.
And even if they never come again, so that this value will remain in them. I've given this
we can go here.
That I don't owe them this attention.
Okay.
You see?
One more thing interesting that I'm thinking of is talking about self-confidence. Okay, I see that you became really self-confident, but
thank you.
Some people become really self-confident, then they think the opinion they have is the only right opinion, or they don't need any professional help. Like, are you as a tutor, as a teacher, do you need anybody like
professional help? You mean professional development?
Not only development, but these people are so self-confident that they don't need any colleagues' advice.
Oh, okay.
And for example, talking about you, like some teachers, as I know, they sometimes invite a colleague to be present in their lesson if they are self-employed. Like, I mean, if it's not the language school, and of course they pay this person. Do you think that you need it, or you think that everything is great with your lessons and you don't need anybody's
advice?
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not perfect because there is no perfection.
Yeah.
There's only specialization and customization.
Yeah.
So I know that I'm really good at these two things, but I want to improve, of course, in theory, and because we all know theory in general, But the way we implement it in our courses is, of course, different. It's based on our perceptions, based on our understanding and all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanna do further. I wanna develop further in this field. Maybe to become an examiner or like to connect better with theory
cool.
and stuff. Yeah.
You really read a lot. I noticed that you read a lot. I don't have that much passion maybe on reading
Yeah.
and studying lots of new stuff because, well, it takes time and or you have to stop preparing for something or to get away from something and dedicate to the self-study and learning and studying some new, I don't know, any book or any theory, method.
Right. Well, I think these videos was not just a great pleasure, not a wonderful time pass this afternoon because I had some free space like before my lessons in the evening.
Me too.
Yeah. So I'm sure you enjoyed watching it because if you didn't enjoy, if you hadn't enjoyed, you would have long switched it off.
Okay.
Yeah. So cheerio, and don't forget to like us. Show
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
forget. Adiós a todos.
Yeah. Bye.
Un buen día.